And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gem into Crypto, episode 633. Today is Wednesday, January 6, 2021, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
At 10-ish. And today's top stories: crypto exchanges, Shapeshift integrates Dexes, relieves user KYC burdens. Ripple co-founder Jed McCaleb sold $400 million worth of Ripple or XRP in 2020. One Bitcoin at $34,000 now buys one Tesla after Elon Musk has a Dogecoin Christmas. And veteran investor Bill Miller calls Bitcoin rat poison, but this time is actually for cash. That and much more. But first, of course, let's go ahead and talk about these prices.
Man, we looking? Let's get into it. So Bitcoin right now is at $34,461, up 9%. Ethereum at $1,149 is up 12%. Stellar in a huge pump last night. If you saw it, at 32 cents is up 83%. Ripple at 23 cents, up 6%. Even Ripple is up right now. So everything is up. Chainlink at $16 is up 18%. Litecoin at $164 is up 7.9%. And last but not least, EOS at $331 is up 18%. So we're starting to see the beginning of what seems like alt season, even though, remember, alts versus BTC is still down from the all-time high, but alts USD is doing just fine.
Yeah, and just give everyone a heads up. The reason why we started the show at definitely a 10-ish time is because I had to express the Bitcoin Zay. When I woke up to prep for the show this morning and I saw the price of Stellar, I literally screamed. Okay, I yelled. I woke up neighbors. I almost blew my top off. Like, as far as it's crazy because I've been talking about Stellar the last 2 days. We've been talking about Stellar on the show, saying that hey, it might catch Ripple, it might surpass Ripple. I will admit, I was telling Bitcoin that I got rid of my Stellar after the XRP news. So when I saw this, I was just going absolutely crazy because I felt like it was another Ant Shares Neo moment. But the good thing is, like Bitcoin Zay said, it is still altcoin season. And while they're not doing good as far as the Bitcoin pairing, it's doing good for the USD pairings. And I know a lot of people just got that stimulus check in. This may be the time. If you have that discretionary income, you don't need that stimulus check. This may be the time to take that 600 or 1200, whatever it is people are getting, and putting it on one of these altcoins that are in that, not all of it, but just some of that into this 30-cent altcoin, or maybe this 2-cent altcoin, this 3-cent altcoin here or there, because it is altcoin season. And the chances of the next 3 or 4 days, I mean, I would wait for a quick dip, but the chances of the next 3 or 4 days of another alt not pumping are going to be low right now. Bitcoin's on a tear. It's not going to stop this week. And this might be the time, as Bitcoin Zay has said many times in the past, in the crypto market, you make 80% of your money 20% of the time. This is at 20% of the time to make 80% of your money. I want to point that out.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the good thing about this happening is that this is just the beginning. If you look at these charts, just in a wide view, like on the screen, you can see the pumps, but you also see a lot of them having a small correction right now. This, like, literally after the show is probably the best time to go back, look at these coins, because I think Stellar just dropped to right below 30 cents or whatever. Might want to start looking back into it. Even Bitcoin is down to 34.4 after it hit 35. So you might have that small dip to get in, sell the house or whatever, sell your car, and then just take it and throw it all.
Sell your baby.
don't do that. But,
right.
But yeah, this is looking like a prime time. I think this will run through the end of the month at least. But remember, tax season is coming. So I wouldn't be surprised of a big drawdown over, a few months before April 15th.
Not to mention just tax season, but again, I think Tessa Hall was one who mentioned it to us, reminded us as well. This is the year of the ox. 2021 Chinese New Year begins February 12th, I believe. That goes on for about a week and a half, 2 weeks or whatever. Usually we see the price of Bitcoin dip for the Chinese New Year, and that actually coincides with what you said with tax time. My only question for this year is how much of that money will disappear, or if not, keep pumping. Since it's a pandemic, Chinese New Year isn't going to be the same. They're not going to be traveling across the country. They're not going to be traveling internationally. They will have extra money in China that they normally use to travel and spend for vacation and holiday time. So this is going to be an interesting year. Again, something new we never seen before, pandemic time. Again, last year during the Chinese New Year, this wasn't the same because the pandemic wasn't in full force. This year it will be. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to the price as tax season starts, as the Chinese New Year starts, where we traditionally see that price go down. What is going to happen? Are we going to see that dip? Or, like I said, everybody's at home. This thing might keep pumping. And quick thing, I think some of this recent pump, again, I know institutions are buying, but also let's not discount the stimulus package. I'm not just talking about the stimulus checks for people, but the stimulus packages that are going out to businesses and institutions. They may have been the one that bought the dip, but they bought it with that money they just got in the last 24 or 48 hours. Like straight up, we're seeing it.
No
when
more
the price
dips.
goes up that crazy. All right, top story of the day. Well, actually, let me say some quick shout outs to see everybody logging on again. Tiffany from New York, hey, Anointing Mouse, yo, Too Rich to Miss, Lisa Lee, Marcellus Love, Bruce Biggs, Tessa Hall, Shapeshift sold out with Keep Key on KYC. PFC Wells, Marcellus Love. Let's see, Yemi O, top of the morning to you. Raj Shuth, I'm throwing all my taxes at Bitcoin. There we go. Crypto Q, Chinese hedge funds will compete with US hedge funds as they buy. Very good point. I never thought about that either. That's definitely going to help increase the price. Top story of the day, crypto exchange Shapeshift integrates Dexes, relieves user KYC burdens. What is going on with Shapeshift? They put a big middle finger to the government, huh?
Hey, man. So it looks as though Shapeshift is swapping business structures again, this time by getting rid of its entire trading desk. They have a non-custodial exchange. If you've never heard of Shapeshift, you can integrate it. You can have it on your phone. You can integrate it on your browser. They're now routing orders through decentralized finance applications in a bid to get rid of KYC regulations that gutted the cryptocurrency trading platform in 2018. And we talked about this. We talked about the fact that you could use Shapeshift. You could move money around. There was no KYC. Literally, it was in your browser. It was very simple to use. Loved it. But as soon as they got that tap on the shoulder, they had to sort of make sure their company was okay. And they want to become a 100% DEX base for customers. One of the things I will say about this is I think this may be the start of a bunch of companies saying, hey, you know what? Forget KYC. And then what? And then now what? You know what I mean? Because I honestly, if there were 10 big corporations, I would be calling them and be like, look, if we all come together and we all say no, the manpower they need to prosecute us all could take decades. Then on top of that, all they would do is just change the rules to, okay, well, KYC is necessary for certain things, but not for other things. And that's how you flex your power, especially if we get a trillionaire out of Bitcoin, or a couple trillionaires. It's like, why are you, who cares anymore? Like, forget that. So shout out to Eric Voorhees. And he, basically trying to change his model to provide instant liquidity without requiring them to trust the custodian. So we'll see how that goes so far.
And yeah, and shout out to Jack, is it Jack or Jacques Voorhees, his father as well. If you remember, we actually interviewed him about 2 or 3 months ago with the Ice Cap Diamonds, non-fungible tokens that he's doing. So we actually had his dad on the show here. Hopefully we can have Eric in the future. I'm sure we will. But something else like to piggyback with that. I don't even think you need 10 companies, really. I think if you have one company that's big enough that's doing it, they'll be okay. I mean, granted, somebody might have to go to jail from that company. So y'all need to have that meeting like, all right, who's going to be the fall guy? We give you $100 million. You do these 3 to 5 years before you come out wealthy. Companies do this now. But I say that because when it comes to KYC or when it comes to the penalties of doing this, all you're talking about, I mean, this is white collar. Like by and large, from what we've seen in this space, you're talking about paying a fine. At worst, again, you might have jail time. But what it seems to be to me, even coming from all these ICO cases that we've seen that's supposed to be STOs or whoever's done whatever wrong, right? It has been fines. Even for the bigger scams out there, there has been fines, not jail time. So I say all that because if I was an owner of a company, if I had Shapeshift one of these places, then yeah, I would take off KYC just off the basis that worst case scenario is that they're going to fine us. Or if we do have an actual legal case like Bitcoin Zay, if we have the money, we can push this thing out. We can carry it out for a few years. And that all starts with your actual business. So if your business can bring in enough money or bring in more volume and more money by not having KYC, then don't do it. Don't have KYC, bring in the volume, bring in the money, put about 30 to 40% of that to the side so you can pay the feds when they come knocking. But other than that, you won't have to. So I think, again, one big enough company could actually do this and get away with it if they can make enough money in the meantime to pay for those legal fees. But like you said, we have 10 companies doing it, self-regulation.
Yeah, exactly. And then DeFi within itself right now is not really decentralized. Most of the applications are built on Amazon, or if they have some sort of decentralization, it's killed because it's on a central platform and then people can get hacked, so whatever. This is great because it's non-custodial. You control your keys, you trade how you want. And that's what you ultimately want in a decentralized exchange. So hopefully this goes through like you said, but this might be the first flex. We might be talking about the first flex, and a lot of new people who may be watching may not remember Shapeshift, but like Trek just said, they may be making a comeback. A lot of rebrands are about to start coming this year. People.
2 to 3 years later, hey, 2017.
Hey, we said it. We people from 2016, 17, 18 that we remember that they were okay, or maybe they did have a good product, but it went away. The rebrand is coming, baby. All these new people showing up. They're like, oh yeah, we're such and such now. Like I saw, who was that? CoFounder rebranded to another name.
I saw CoFounder recently. I saw that as well. I was like, I remember they used to be top 10.
Exactly. It's about 4 coins I saw rebranded to a totally different name, different Slack, different Telegram. All of a sudden, the new people are like, oh, it's a real man. And then people believe them because they're like, oh yeah, I've worked on blockchain projects for 9 years. Yeah, well, none of them worked. But you just keep throwing them out there.
Switching projects. Tell me more about this.
Tell me more about your 17th project in 9 years. So yeah, this is definitely rebrand phase, especially for newbies. So again, you want to check these people's background, whoever's the CEO or whatever it is.
So quick comments. First of all, quick shout outs. What's going on? Yimmy O. I don't think I've seen that name before. What's up, Nate Moss, Malik Howard. So Ziri 2011 say good morning. If not Coinbase, what are a few options? I know you mentioned this before. No worries. We actually just talked about before the show. We are going to do some type of quick, I don't know if it's going to be a show or a 5-minute thing where we bring all the new users into crypto and give them some quick information like exchanges, because I am seeing all across my Facebook timeline, people I have never seen talk about crypto before, or may have mentioned it once now, are on my Facebook timeline telling people all about Coinbase and stuff that I'm just like, oh my goodness. I'm gonna insert myself into the conversation. I just look at it.
Yeah, I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah. As mentioned already by Bruce Biggs, thanks. Uphold is good. eToro. I personally use Gemini. Now I will tell you, Gemini are working with the feds. However, what I do like about them, if you're a high volume customer, if you're using a lot of money, if you have a lot of money or more than the average, Coinbase is going to shut down your account, which is why we don't like them, never really liked them or whatever. Gemini likes those type of people, but they are working with the feds. But with Gemini, they are trying to be regulated. So I do like Gemini. Their fees are higher. And to be clear, Gemini, Uphold, eToro, whatever you're using, when you buy that crypto, you should be transferring it out immediately. It doesn't stay there in that thing. That's just the on-ramp to buy. Or of course, the best way to buy is peer-to-peer. So what I would suggest is finding someone in your area, depending on where you're at, and trying to buy Bitcoin from people personally. Meet them at a Starbucks, a bank, as the Bitcoin Zay says, it'd be ironic. Meet them at the police station, give them the money and switch it out for the crypto, folks. Marcel's Love said, can you do an in-depth session on DeFi and Dex? That would definitely have to be a subject matter expert, Bitcoin Zay. So that would depend on his scheduling.
Yeah, but, we maybe in the future, but yeah, right now it's a lot going on. So
a lot going on,
probably not right now, but yeah, it will be possible.
Might be possible in the future. There we go. All right, next story up. Ripple co-founder. Oh, y'all like to follow Ripple move so much? Follow this move. Looks like Ripple co-founder Jeb McCaleb sold $400 million worth of XRP in 2020. Woo! Wait, that sounds like someone who knew it was coming.
Exit pump, baby.
Ripple co-founder Jeb McCaleb appears to have enjoyed a prosperous 2020, having sold more than $400 million worth of XRP over the last 12 months. Now, first and foremost, my only question would be, did other XRP followers know about this? That is my biggest question, because I didn't follow this personally. But it looks like Stellar CTO. Oh, this man, listen, you talking about winning right now. Stellar CTO and Ripple architect Jeb McCaleb cashed out a whooping $411 million in XRP in 2020, according to an updated report from blockchain analytics account Well Alert. And shout out to Well Alert too. You're talking about someone who's been in the crypto space for a very long time and been skating. Someone will buy that account. I'm telling you, a bank will buy that account one day, straight up. Like $300,000, $400,000 off rip. Let me get that account, get all your everything you've been following. Let me get all your history. I will buy that. But it looks like McCaleb sold 1.2 billion XRP throughout the year at an average price of 34 cents per coin. So actually a great price point, amassing close to $500 million. The sum reportedly represents 27% of McCaleb's XRP stash as held in settlement account with Ripple Labs and marks a sharp acceleration of his sales to date. He sold roughly 1 billion XRP in 5 years between 2014 and 2019. That is crazy. And you know what? Shout out to cryptocurrency again. XRP came out of thin air. Jeb McCaleb now has $500 million. Shout out to cryptocurrency.
Shout
out to cryptocurrency. That's how it works right there, baby. We in here.
Money.
Transfer of wealth if I've ever seen it. What are your thoughts here?
I was gonna say the funny thing about this is all of the arguments from XRP people, they never discussed the fact that one of their holders literally left, one of the biggest holders left, started a whole new project, and then he's been cashing out the entire 2020 because I believe he knew this was coming. And of course, he's been selling from 2014. He's just been selling. He just waits for high points, sell, wait for high points, sell. And again, this is why it's probably a security. That's all Ripple was there for.
And I was just about to say, that's why that's the problem with XRP. No one gifted anyone a bunch of Bitcoin. They just start selling to people.
Yeah, like in fact, most people don't want to ever sell it. So with XRP, the point is to buy it, to sell it. That's security. And with Jeb McCaleb doing this, I'm glad because this is another knife in the heart for those holders of XRP that think it's coming back. I'm like, okay, one of the guys who built XRP is literally your competition. So again, it's and Stellar taking off 83%. In 24 hours helps as well. So I'm pretty sure I know where that pump came from.
Hey, Jeb, that's a good point. Jeb he just whoop.
Yeah, let me go ahead and put this in, and then those order books got real stacked. And
that's a great point. Did Jeb just pump his own coin? Jeb,
I'm not saying he did. Hey, but both of these stories came out at the same day, so I'm just saying it's got to be some synergy there. But again, this is something to follow as far as the fact that if you have founders who own most of the coins, it's probably a scam because they're going to dump on you as soon as the price goes up. So let it go, people. Let it go.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Bruce Biggs said boss moves. Let's see a few more comments. Let's see. Cicely M said, what's the best way to research up and coming altcoins? Again, this is something we need to do a lot. I won't say we have to do. We might need to republish some of our old videos that are on YouTube, but we definitely talk about this. The best way to research some of the altcoins is look at Bitcoin Forum. You want to look at Bitcoin Forum, see if there's an active community. Are people like today? Have people been talking about that altcoin? Go back into its history, see what some of the things it's been doing in the project. Look at the actual altcoin project sites. Look at the roadmap. Have they been living up to what that roadmap says? What's some other places Bitcoin's out top of my head right now? Telegram. Go to Telegram.
Telegram. Yep. And I mean, tech wise, if you have GitHub, you can check the code.
GitHub, Cub, that's right.
Also, if you go to CoinMarketCap and you look at the coin supply, you want to look at distribution because a lot of people don't realize it may be 100 million coins there, but if 40 million are held by the crypto foundation, yeah, they're probably going to dump on you as well. So you want to make sure that it's as evenly distributed or at least sort of distributed as possible. You also want to look at the type of thing that they're trying to sell you or type of product, because a lot of people are trying to sell you products that we don't even need. So even if you think it's a great idea, it's like, yeah, we don't need a blockchain for that. Why would I invest in that token? But honestly, right now, everybody looks like a genius in a bull market. So you could make money on something that you just buy just randomly, but don't think that that's going to last forever. A lot of people did that in 2017, think it's going to go up forever, and they watch their coins go down 95%. And they have to still hold to this day because you don't want to sell at a loss. So make sure you do your due diligence there.
There we go. All right. Speaking of all these price points and price moves, one Bitcoin at $34,000 now buys one Tesla after Elon Musk has a Dogecoin Christmas. I won't lie, this is a great news story, but these are also the stories we did see in 2017 when it was Lambo time, G-Wagon time, and all that for one Bitcoin. And shortly after that, I won't say shortly, I think by the time they started, it was about October. It was around October when the car buying started for Bitcoin. So it was about 2 more months of a pump still. So at this point, I'm saying we got a month and a half, 2 months. I was playing, but yeah, this is like the repeat of 2017. You can buy cars. What's going on with this story?
Oh yeah. So I think people are going to have BTC Tesla pairs.
I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait to see it. It's like, all right, one Bitcoin could buy you 2 Teslas or 3 Teslas, whatever. So according to the exchange rate, one Bitcoin is approximately 34,000, and so is one Tesla. So a lot of people on Twitter were saying, hey, a Bitcoin now buys you a Tesla. So when will you accept it, Elon Musk? Samson Mao, CEO of Blockstream, also noted the brand new price parity as Bitcoin hit all-time highs. He says, we'll be ashamed to buy Model 3 now when you can buy Roadster for 1 BTC later this year. So again, we hear people sort of joking, like BTC Tesla pairs, like, oh, I can buy the original Tesla, or I can buy the new version, or I can buy Tesla, the company, at some point with Bitcoin's market cap. So shout out to everybody who's sort of keeping this market fun, Because again, everybody talks about institutional investors. Everybody talks about all these, the herd is coming and everybody's in love with Bitcoin. But you got to remember, a lot of what built this was things like this. People saying, hey, your purchasing power is increasing over time. It's a joke to some people, but honestly, don't sell Bitcoin because your purchasing power increases. That is the incentive to save it. And this is just one example. So one Bitcoin is one Tesla, people. If you want to go ahead and drop it, do it. But a lot of people bought Lambos in 2017 and they regret it to this day.
Right, for real. And let's not even mention the amount of conferences we went to where it was just like, why do you have a Lambo on the third floor in the middle of the conference? Like, it's like, what is the point? Is this Lambos? Like, they were literally sprinkling Lambos at conferences. Like, I can't even think of a name for it, right? Gift bags. They had Lambos out there like gift bags at conferences. It was crazy.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
And to me, that was like the biggest sign of everything that's about to be wrong. And shortly after, everything was wrong for 2 years.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. Rodney Fury says it's about to be our time. The wicked system is tearing itself apart. There we go. What's going on, Jay Titan? Antonio says today, one Bitcoin buys you a Tesla Model 3. By the end of the decade, a Bitcoin will buy you and your family a return ticket to Mars. Hold, people.
Hold it.
That's right. And speaking of, let's see, Marcus Walter, basically was this 200 million was transferred from unknown wallet to Coinbase yesterday, or what if some of that was converted into Stellar as well? Possibly, very possible. And speaking about Stellar and Ripple too, we did see one of the comments, and just want to make sure we clarify, or if someone maybe misunderstood. We understand the United States does not run the entire cryptocurrency market, but I think it would be very foolish to believe they do not influence it in a very strong way. And that is just based off the strength of the dollar, people. Everyone still uses the dollar. Yeah, everyone still uses the dollar. So no matter what you think about what part of the country, and that's the XRP argument as well. They're like, hey, it's being used in all these other places. 90% is outside the US. I want to bring up the point we brought up yesterday. Even if that is true, you're assuming that all these countries are going to continue to keep messing with XRP after they get on a tap on the shoulder from the United States government. I am here to tell you that they will not. That's not going to happen. Even if they have business in every other country, all the United States has to do, which they will do, is say, if you use that, you're not going to use anything from us, and we're not going to give you no resources, and we might drop a bomb on you if we get bored on Tuesday. All right, like, that's how it's going to go down. So that's my thing with XRP, people. I know it's popular in other countries. I know the United States doesn't control the crypto market. We're not foolish, but we also know what the US is capable of and what they do. We just saw it the last 2 years. They kept crypto in the bull market. It wasn't international. International people kind of liked it. It was a push from the United States. So let's make sure we're clear on that as well. All right. Last but not least, veteran investor Bill Miller calls Bitcoin a rat poison, but for cash.
Oh yeah,
that's someone bucking against the party lines here. What's going on?
Oh yeah, investor Bill Miller, whose flagship mutual fund in 2020 beat the S&P 500 for the second straight year. He said he believes Bitcoin could replace cash, and markets are underpricing inflation risk. Warren Buffett, as you know, he famously called Bitcoin rat poison. And Bill Miller flipped it on his head and said he may well be right. Bitcoin could be rat poison, and the rat could be cash. The rat could be cash. Get out of here. But I agree with him totally. I actually was reading some of his quotes about how he was saying, Bitcoin could solve things, and he said you have a choice right now. You could either choose the current system, which is constantly printing, is known to deflate your money, or you could choose a system that's free, open, and gives you the ability to gain value over time. He basically said, I made my choice. So what about you? This is just more bullets in the chamber for us, because every time I talk to some Joe Schmo with $500 who's sitting on the fence, like, I don't know whether I should do it, I always mention people like this that, hey, they have thousands of people that rely on them, and their entire job is risk management. And they've said to themselves, the least riskiest way to hold our money is Bitcoin. So what do you think you should be doing right now? I mean, most people, they can't fathom it because they're not billionaires, but everything can be scaled up. So if you can do it at a small scale, you can do it at a large scale. And I'm sure if Bill Miller had $50, he would be doing the same thing, or 50 billion. So in my opinion, this is just great for us. We got, Bill Miller talking about it, Paul Tudor Jones, Stanley Druckenmiller. You're talking about everybody except Warren Buffett, who's known as big time investment traders, BlackRock. It's pretty much everybody but Buffett. So it's,
and again, let me talk about Warren Buffett for a second. I give him credit, but not that much. For those who are listening, for you to know my stance on people like Warren Buffett, I give them credit, but not much. Because Warren Buffett, and I always see the articles, you want to know how you can make $1 billion? Invest in Pepsi in 1922.
Yeah.
It's like, look, let's talk about Warren Buffett. Let's be real. When he was a kid, it was in America, a very racist system where blacks could not do things like invest, right? Other people couldn't invest. I don't think women could invest, actually. So you have a dude who dad gives him money and teaches him how to invest. And as a 12-year-old, your father gives you money, you put in the Pepsi or Coca-Cola, whatever. By the time you're 20, 25, you're a multimillionaire, rinse, wash, repeat. You're a multi-billionaire because you started before everyone and your parents gave you money. Let's not act like he was 12 years old. Like, okay, this is the this overbought here is oversold here. We can do this. Like, no, your parents gave you money. You put it in. That's right now. If as parents, you give your kids money and you tell them, hey, every month, I'm going to give you $300, invest it in the Bitcoin. You've been doing that since 2016, 2015, or 2018 after the bear market. Then in 2020, 2021, they're going to be wealthy and they're going to be looking like geniuses, but they really just bought what you told them to buy. So that's my thing on Warren Buffett. And that's why I said the party line is being drawn here, because now not only do you have billionaires coming out, like you said, you have other billionaires and people like Bill Miller, who is on Wall Street with Warren Buffett, who had a good year. This guy isn't coming off a bad year. If he came off a bad year, I can understand.
He beat the S&P.
He's coming off a good year. He has no reason to talk bad about the market. And yet he is still not only saying to go toward Bitcoin, but he's also throwing shots at Warren Buffett. He ain't even hiding it. He's throwing shots at the GOAT, right? So again, the party line has been drawn. Like you said, I know I made my decision this year when I felt sick to the point it was like, we should have been putting all our money into Bitcoin the last few years at this point, right?
Yeah, and one thing I want to compare him to is Warren Buffett is like Bill Russell, man. He's old as shit and he got his rings, but Bill Russell would get dominated in today's game. He's a 6'9" center. LeBron is a 6'9" point guard. That's what we're up against. You have these older dudes whose mindset is, oh, it worked back then. LeBron will put Bill Russell into the into the goalposts every single time down the court, and he would be. I mean, Bill Russell would be I don't know, a left hand. I don't know. Somebody, sorry, but basically, anytime you progress over time, you have these people. Warren Buffett missed the tech boom. Like that's enough. That's enough for me to see that he has not caught up to since the 90s. Talking
about Coca-Cola and Pepsi, man.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody trying to wait 30 years to retire. First of all, let's get that straight.
Yeah, and imagine being 85 years old telling 30 and 40-year-olds that if you invested before you were born, you could have made the same money too. That's how fucking stupid this sounds. So Warren Buffett, we're done with him, but I'm glad people like this are speaking out because at higher levels, they compete too. If Bill Miller, Drunken Miller, BlackRock, if they start beating the S&P every year and it's because of Bitcoin, guess what's going to happen? Every company is going to copy. They don't have an innovative bone in their body. They're going to copy exactly what they're doing, and we're going to go from there.
All right, we're going to wrap it up some comments. Hey, it's getting spicy in the comment section. We love this, people. It's good. Look, we love all the feedback, good and bad. You all know that. We're not worried about it. First, I want to talk about a few comments, seeing some good ones coming in. Good point. I will say this is a good point by Win Some Hacks. Said Warren Buffett is not an idiot and has seen a lot of scams. He doesn't understand Bitcoin and hence puts it in the basket with all the scams he's seen.
Oh, now, like the internet? Like the internet? God damn.
Why you have to do it? Look, I was about to give him credit and then you're going to say the internet. That's hilarious, but true. While Bitcoin is actually true with what he just said too, because he is kind of right. Technology. But I also give Win some, I understand where they're coming from because you're right. If you're older, you made your money, you're in a good spot. And not just Warren Buffett. This sentiment, as you mentioned the other day, there were people in Nebraska who listened to Warren Buffett who didn't invest in Bitcoin for 5 years or whatever.
Oh, man. That sucks.
So I would say that sentiment just isn't for Warren Buffett. That's for most working professionals, especially those with families or people that depend on them to take care of them financially, right? Mm-hmm. So I do get it. They're like, look, whether it's true or false, I've seen so much bad stuff. I am scared to move forward in this new direction. I'll give them that. I get it. But at the same time, if that's what it is, then just leave it there. Make one comment and leave it alone. You don't have to go to rat poison because when you do go toward rat poison, I had to bring up the next comment I saw. Matt G. Warren Buffett is a government rent seeker trying to protect his bag, uses investor money to buy influence, and uses influence to get more investor money. I'm kind of with Matt G on that.
That's exactly what he does. These banks call Warren Buffett and people like him to get an injection of cash.
Bitcoin,
we need cash. Yeah, we need cash. So he's doing their bidding, and then their bidding is done in the government. And the reason he does it is because it's about as safe as you can get. As long as the government still works, his investments are good, and he has an open line to the biggest financial institutions in the world. So what he's done is establish himself in the old world. People, think about the new world. You have 17-year-olds right now with the ability to be millionaires by like 20, 21 years old. You have people who are building businesses in Bitcoin. The tide is changing. The whole, if you're older, you make more money. If you work in stocks, you make more money. If you're a traditional finance, you make more. No, that day is flipping on its head. As we speak, we're watching the dollar die. And I just think Warren Buffett, who was it yesterday? Dr. Boyce Watkins, anybody can get criticism because this is a new market. You can't just say, I know what I'm talking about because I knew what I was talking about. No, this is a new market. So unfortunately, we got to get kind of cocky and say, in the Bitcoin crypto market, we're smarter than them. So listening to us is actually a better bet than listening to the so-called gurus from the past, until those gurus show up and then they're like, oh yeah, I like Bitcoin too, like Mark Cuban. I mean, some of these people, some of these people just show up. Jamie Dimon, oh yeah, I like it now. Oh yeah, I understand it now. So you mean to tell me we've been smarter than you for 8 years? I mean, that's what we're talking about, and it's not because we just guessed and we were lucky. We've been working. We haven't went anywhere.
We put our work in. That's what we be up hours all night, every night.
All night. We've been through 2 bear markets. This is the second bull run, and again, like I said, we haven't left. They've left and came back, and left and came back, and left and came back again. So again, I'm glad everybody's watching us, watching people in the crypto space. These other people in traditional finance, they have everybody's mind basically wrapped around them because they're like, oh, he's a legend. Yeah, so is Bill Russell. And he would get dunked on today by Ish Smith. Like,
I saw a comment. Somebody said Russell Westbrook give him that work.
Bro, everybody, that's what I'm saying. Every NBA player today is better than Bill Russell back then. So everybody who's in crypto and Bitcoin right now is probably going to be more beneficial or benefit them more than listening to the old dinosaur. But again, he's a legend in Nebraska. Shout out to him, whatever.
Yeah. That's all. Again, the comment section is on fire today. Love it. Love all the feedback as always, people. Do you have anything else for the show today, Bitcoin Day?
Nothing else for the show today. Do want to announce to everybody that I did just sign on with CoinDesk for a new show. Oh yeah, Community Crypto. We'll start in February. It'll be a once a week show. Basically just displaying different meetup groups and different ways that the community can get involved with different subjects. So finally got on CoinDesk TV, and that'll be in February. I'll keep everybody posted. So we're keeping it rolling. It's going to be just like this show, except maybe with a little bit more guests, but that's about it. But yeah, I'm not going anywhere. General Crypto still going strong, but got to get on CoinDesk, talk to these people so they can hear the real.
All right, here we go. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure you smash that like and share, and we will